Do I really have a binder full of PSA 10s? Hey everybody, Blue Eyes White Patrick here, and I need your help, guys. As we round the corner on the anniversary of the release of the Starter Deck Kaiba, which you've heard a lot of on this channel, primarily because of the PSA 10 first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon I have from that set. Check out the other videos. There's one short and one longer video where I highlight that. So we're not going to go too deep into that specific card for you all today. But as we enjoy the 23rd anniversary of this release, I have to ask, guys, do I really have a binder full of PSA 10s? So as you guys already know, was able to enjoy a PSA 10 first edition Blue Eyes right here, and super excited to have. This is one of the hallmarks of my collection here. But I bought that, as you may have heard in a previous lot from or in a previous video, from a lot on eBay, wherein all the cards seem to look that good. So what we're going to do today is take a look at the rest of the 49 other cards from that starter deck. Remember, this was something that was released in 2002. It was a pre-built deck for those of you who are a little too young to have known of its existence. This is a pre-built deck, of course, based on the anime character of the show, of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original Series show, Seto Kaiba, whose trademark, of course, was the Blue-Eyes White Dragon. But they created this deck with an inspiration from the show, which highlighted a lot of the other cards, the monsters, the traps, the spell cards that he used back in that show, and put together something that, hey, pre-built, ready to go. So if your friend was like, hey, you checked out Yu-Gi-Oh! Yet? No, I haven't. Pulled off the rack at the store, and then you play your buddy with it. Now, of course, all these years later, the game's evolved. That deck doesn't really hold up, but where it does hold up is its value, and that's what we're going to look at here today. So let me go ahead, put this under the camera. We'll take a look at it together. All right, guys. So we're going to start, of course, with the PSA 10 Starter Deck Blue Eyes White Dragon first edition here. You guys have seen this. Check out my other videos if you have not. We really go under the microscope with this to kind of figure out, okay, what makes this a grade 10 versus other grades there? Even with some of the imperfections, it's not like this one is what I might call perfect. So, you know, it looks like PSA has to account for some variation and some differences that you'll see. And I think everything is subjective, right? They probably see these cards come in and out routinely, whether it's like the actual card itself or whether they see other Yu-Gi-Oh cards like this over the course of their grading. So I would imagine what they probably do is they do the test where they kind of measure this against what they're seeing out there, right? I mean, you know what a good centering looks like. You know what a premier card looks like. You know when there's no corner wear damages, and then you can kind of measure, right? Where is the corner damage more significant on one card than the other, and does it impact the grading? So there's a lot of variables that go into that here. We're going to have a graded LOB, Legend of Blue Eyes First Edition. Guys, that of course is the first printing of the Blue Eyes White Dragon monster card in the North American release. We're going to have a PSA reveal on that soon. Just got that one done here, so I'll kind of show you, where I hit there, and we'll give you some backstory. But here's what a PSA 10 looks like generally, right? Now, I want to share with you guys the rest of the binder, which I'll try to take. We're not going to go through the entire deck that they have there, guys. We're going to go ahead and just pull out a few pieces here from the collection. So this is our Unlimited. Put that in the front. We do have all Unlimited Starter Deck Kaiba. Now, Unlimited, of course, is those which were printed after the first edition release. We have my signed card, also first edition. Not going to get this one graded here. This one wasn't part of the lot. And you can already kind of see some of the wear even through this. And there is like a slight bend, yeah, right there,
which I'm not going to pull it out of the case because, you know, it's already got some wear. So that's going to be a PSA 10, no. But let's take a look at Hitsumi Giant, right? Because, I'll get some of the oils off my finger there before we pull it out. This is one of those cards that looks pretty clean to me. And look at that surface, right? Absolutely terrific. The centering spot on the front. You know, do we see anywhere here? Corners look pretty decent. And I'm probably, you know, doing that just for the sake of the video. Scratches anywhere? No. You know, that light variation here is just a light variation that you're seeing reflect on the card. So it's not a bend or a crease. You can see it as I move it around. But look at that. Super duper clean, right? Now, does Hitsumi Giant actually have significant value? No. I mean, it is a common. There's no foil element to it. You know, I want to take a look at Battle Ox here. And again, one of the more significant monster characters, again, common, no foil element here. But this is one of the ones that I kind of pulled out and looked at before. Let's see if we can get this. Might be a little tricky to see. I mean, that's the extent of the wear, right? Is there even any wear? You know, it's like at the top, again, perfect gloss, perfect sheen, no ripples, no wrinkles. Guys, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe so we can follow up on this here. Do I get this whole set graded? What are we thinking, guys? Let me know in the comments if I should do a bulk submission here. Obviously, PSA's cost is not that cheap. A bulk submission should look pretty good. You know, we're looking at first edition Starter Deck Kaiba cards right now, right? I'm gonna pull out Lord of D. Now here's the two other significant ones in this set, right? So we got Lord of D and we got Flute of Summoning Dragon, which of course are the hollows here. Help me out, guys. What are we seeing? What are we seeing, right? Beautiful hollow, beautiful gloss finish. Corner, corner. Look okay, look okay. Sorry for the shaky camera, guys. Cat is on the table. He wants to participate. Let us know what he thinks, or he just wants the food that's there. Your pick. You tell me in the comments below what my cat wants. But yeah, I mean, look really clean, really sharp. I'm not seeing any dimples. I'm not seeing any significant. I mean, there's definitely no bends. Look at this, guys. I don't know how we got a whole set that's centered completely. What do you think, Lemmy? Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Cat's checking it out for us. I think we got the cat approval here. And we'll very gently get him down. Thank you very much, buddy, for your participation. You've made the YouTubers very happy. Okay, so with your presence. So Flute of Summoning Dragon, right? This is the other foil one. We'll, again, wipe the hands off there. I've seen some people with gloves on, but I've also seen guys like Roxanne and some of those other fellow YouTubers just kind of pull it out. It's fine as long as your hands are pretty clean. You know, you don't have the sweat from touching the very. And here we go, right? There's a spot on the back. Does that Flute of Summoning Dragon get a 10? Probably not, right? And that might be the only flawed card. Unfortunately, it's a hollow, right? So probably excludes it from a 10. The centering is so good. But here's the other thing. Like, if we can get a full 10 on all these, right? Does Flute of Summoning Dragon really cost that much first edition? No. Can we get a possible 10 somewhere? Probably. You know, I wouldn't put it past eBay or TCG Player to give something of good note there. Look, they're not going to get it graded, right? They're just going to sell it, and typically raw cards, these that are presented just as the cards themselves, not graded or slabbed, they're going to be cheaper, right? Skull, red, bird. What are we looking at here, right? Again, pretty clean. Does the back have anything? No. I mean, like, guys, you know what you think. I think we're looking pretty good. This is a full Starter Deck Kaiba first. Oops, let's get in there, camera. Come on, work with me, baby. All right, so this is a first Starter Deck Kaiba first edition Starter Deck Kaiba. And it's a complete set, guys. Look at how amazing. Now, I'm going to reveal to you guys the price on this because it's probably the best deal. And I want to caution you by saying, like, if you try to find something like this on your own, you may straight gold. But I do not think this is a typical find. I bought this entire set. It was an opened box already. Here's Hane, a very, pull this one out. You're seeing some of my other starter deck. This is, of course, a new one that we all just enjoyed recently. But here's Hane, classic card, good surface, no corners, right? So what are we looking at, guys? You guys probably already know this. We're looking to just see eyeball test, wrinkles, dimples, bent corners, curves that aren't from factory, bends, surface scratches, of course. Are we missing a piece? Like, remember the Flute of Summoning Dragon had this one here, right? Where there's a little spot. So we're looking at that kind of stuff, and we're not PSA graders, but we use our subjectivity to try to gain insight as to what they may look at by just looking at the cards ourselves. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I wanted to highlight a few of these that I had flagged. Obviously, Flute of Summoning Dragon was a bit of a problem child, but if I get a grade 10 on all of these, easy enough to try to find that one, which is not as expensive. I think it probably goes for somewhere between $4 to $5, $10 on eBay if you're looking at a seller who thinks they got something really special. Take a look at this one. Beautiful card. Beautiful all the way around, right? And the centering, guys, I can't get over this. A full set where the centering looks absolutely magnificent. Every single one of these cards, as we're kind of going through them, look phenomenal, right? That's what I'm thinking as well. So guys, leave a comment below. Let me know. Does Blue-Eyes White Patrick get the Starter Deck Kaiba first edition graded? And for comparison's sake, if you're like, yeah, I mean, they look good to me, let me show you an uncommon, which my uncommon sets are not as clean, if you believe it or not. And again, I don't think I revealed it, went off on a tangent. I bought that Starter Deck Kaiba first edition, all 50 cards opened, fanned out for the picture, guys, $575. This card right here just sold on eBay for $8,200. Return on investment by 2,000, almost 3,000% in just one grade 10 card. We've got the full 49 other cards to go through. So what are we looking at, guys? So here is a uncommon version, which, yeah, surface, or on the surface, looks pretty good, but there you go, bend. Look at how deceiving that is. When I pulled this out, did you guys see it? Because I didn't, but there's that bend, right? And that's why we take it to the light to take a look. Beyond that, look at the little edge wear there. You see a little nick? Yeah, right there. Corner wear. Come on, camera. Corner wear, very, very minor, but that's the stuff that's going to get you, right? Centering, right? Not quite there. Not quite there. So that's what we're looking at. If you want to use something as reference that's not going to get a 10, that has some flaws, use Dehuman. We are, actually, it's very appropriate, right? Dehuman with its flaws against the perfect nature of all of the first edition flawless cards that we have. So I do think most of those are going to grade 10, if at the very least somewhere between 8 and 10, and I'm just being kind of generous with my assessment of this. But guys, we will have a follow-up video. If you say Blue-Eyes White Patrick, send it on over. So leave a comment, like this video to give me a heads up on what we think of the collection and what we think of what we want to do moving forward. Subscribe so we can follow up in the future on the grading process. If we get enough encouragement on this specific video to get those graded. Again, not as cheap to go through PSA, but that's why they're the kind of industry leader in that. Keeping this open because I want to thank Alex D. You'll see him in the comments section every once in a while there. Great friend of the individual here, Patrick, and then also of the alias Blue-Eyes White Patrick, who sent this over to me. Beautiful playmat, Kaiba, Blue-Eyes, phenomenal. This will be the background moving forward, guys. So Alex D, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the beautiful playmat. We're going to see this on every video moving forward as we highlight cards.
That's all we got, guys. As you heard there, after we highlighted the Starter Deck Kaiba first edition cards here, of the collection. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm leaning toward getting them graded, although it's a kind of cost that in my mind I'm going, I could just buy more Blue-Eyes White Dragons cards. I'm going to spend on that. So you let me know. You drive this channel for me. Do I get those cards graded? Every single one of those cards looks about the same. The centering is phenomenal. So keep me updated, guys. Let me know what you think. And I will keep you updated if we do end up getting these cards graded. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching again. Keep collecting.